like this monumental in the show, I guess you could say. It's going to be hard to talk about the episode itself and not just about parents, Applejack's parents.
Exist. She didn't just.
Would it be weird if the parents appeared out of nowhere and just was like, Applejack? It just freaking.
Anyway, let's do this right. We got to start in chronological order. So the episode opens up with Applebloom meeting a Pear, and the Pear gives her some jam. Was it jam? Pear jam?
Yeah,
anyway,
it was like.
Granny doesn't approve of the Pears because they have a long-standing feud we just now heard about after 7 years.
Yeah.
And this episode was written by Joanna Lewis and Christine Sanko.
Good job saying his name.
Did I say it right?
I have no idea, but it sounded like you did.
I just have to sound like I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So then they go to Goldie Delicious's house. I did what
Delicious.
Yeah. And that's the historian and a couple funny moments. I like the ball of cats that she comes out in. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so then that's how the story starts. And the story, I think everyone who's seen this episode knows. And if you haven't, don't watch this review. But
yeah, we spoil.
Parents, that's all there is to say.
Parents exist.
So it's a pretty simple family feud, Romeo and Juliet storyline. That's pretty much all you got to know to understand the storyline going on here.
I gotta say, as much as I really like Romeo and Juliet, I wasn't crazy with how they did it here.
No.
Because I think it's kind of an overused storyline at this point. Watching it the second time, I enjoyed it a bit more, but the first time through, I was not really super excited about it.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed my second viewing more as well.
I think this
because
was the
I should say again,
watched it.
Everyone probably knows this, but maybe long in the future they won't. This aired super early, at like 1:40 a.m. in Australia or something, or 1:40 our time in Australia. What?
It was hilarious because I couldn't wake up for it.
Yeah, so this is actually recording. We're not live right now, but we can pretend we're live.
You can't tell them that.
Yeah.
We're always live.
Yeah, the joke is the NSA is always live.
Yeah, everyone knows the time right now
Fred.
is 10:30.
Yeah, it's totally Saturday. Hey, it is Saturday, but it's totally Saturday morning. Anyway, back to the episode. So, what were the names? Bright Pear and what was the? No, Bright
Pear
Mac
Butter.
and
Bright Pear and Buttercup.
And her real name was like Butter or Pear Butter.
Pear Butter. I think it was kind of a weird one.
These are weird names. Come on, you step up your game.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's all about how they met and how they have the Romeo and Juliet love story, whatever going on.
It was beautiful. I cried the fourth time.
So yeah, this is definitely an episode. Since actually this aired it's technically aired a few days ago. One of the consensus is basically everyone's talking about how much it made them cry. I think Drummercheck can attest to that.
Yes.
It's
just liquid pride.
Yeah, it just made me sad because it's a love story, and love stories can really hit you.
See, I didn't find the episode to be tear-inducing, but the context or the subtext, whatever, the fact that they like die after this, they don't say it, but it's kind of like we know it to be true. That's
no
pretty
plot
harsh.
twist. They're just in Vancouver.
I think they spent more time developing these characters we know to die than Disney did with an Up, right? What was?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ouch! Shots fired.
So a little kid watching this is like, oh, a perfect little love story, and they never even think of the fact that they're dead now and how did they die?
I don't know. I feel like that's the better thing to do sometimes because, like, you want to remember a character because they lived, not because, oh, look, character died, like, enough. Because when you think of...
They did.
When you think of, I guess, what was her name? Did she have a name? I forget.
Which one?
Been so long. In Up.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But, like, when you think of her, you don't think of, that girl that he grew up with and eventually married. You think of her as his dead wife. That is the relationship that she has to the plot.
Yeah.
Whereas here, in this plot, you think of them as who they were, the Romeo and Juliet couple that eventually dies.
My first viewing, I was too distracted waiting for... Because when this first aired, we had no idea what they're going to do with it. And I was like, oh no, are they going to bring them back? Like they were on some adventure and they're just coming back? Or
they were in Vancouver the whole time looking for Grand Pear.
Years of hints and behind-the-scenes confirmations of, Applejack's parents are dead. But here was the first time where they addressed it pretty much as directly as they can in a TV-wise setting, I think.
Yeah. Which essentially, like, and I think one of the biggest things is there's a lot of just subtext in there as well of, like, how the characters have dealt with this. Because there was a family feud, because the Pear side of the family completely left Ponyville after the incident of them being married. And the last time Grandpere saw his daughter, he disowned her.
Yeah, this was probably like 20 years in the making for their chronological order.
I mean, when will they ever, get to the point of what happened to, how was Big Mac, born and stuff, and what actually happened to their parents? No. What actually happened to their parents? Like,
I don't
we
think
gotta
we'll ever
know.
No, we'll
gotta
never.
I kind of hope we don't. I like the speculation aspect.
Same.
No, it kind of reminds me, like, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was like a video released on like the actual store. Like, I'm comparing this to like Toy Story's Andy's father, because like we don't know what happened to his father, but it's kind of like here we don't know what happened to Applejack's parents, but that is actually confirmed that we now have a legit story of what actually happened to Andy's father. And
what I like is that this episode, it deals a hard blow. I mean, a good hard blow in terms of story and development and seeing the characters and all these big things going on, and yet they can still slowly leak out information as to what exactly happened over many more seasons, which I like.
Well, we already. I hope it gets confirmed until season 10. If it's like the final season, they gotta reveal the answer what happened to Applejack's parents.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they can confirm their death, like what happened, unless they actually turn around and say no, they're not dead after all. I hope they don't do that, because that would.
Oh my God! Yeah. If they do that, the entire fandom will get angry.
But anyway, a detail I love that almost made the episode for me is the fact that Mare's mane is pink, and that's a very subtle detail from I think season 2, and the fact that it just goes to show how much detail and how much love and passion still goes into the show. People sometimes complain about the show. Oh, it's gone on for too long. The writers are freelance. They don't care about the show. There's a lot more than that going on here though, because obviously someone remembers season 2 Ponyville Confidential where she dyes her mane. I don't know. It's just one of those little details that reminds me the show still cares.
Yes, I know. I mean, even the new writers on the show. I mean, who was the writer again in this episode again?
There was 2 of them. You're going to challenge me to say them again, aren't you?
I don't know. But also, William Shatner was in this episode.
We can't forget him. Yeah, William Shatner guest starred in this episode as, what was it, Grandpere?
Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. My only regret is that they didn't have him like as a sea captain or something. I would have really enjoyed that.
Someone mentioned that he needs to meet Discord.
Yes,
he does. Jessica. We're not even live, and Jessica's here in spirit.
Like, have like Discord kind of wrap himself around and be like, "Have we met before?"
Yeah, that's the sort of thing he would do.
It is.
So now that he lives in Ponyville, right? Maybe we will see him again.
Oh, I want to see Grandpere again. Yeah. Please give us Grandpere
I want to see Q face off against Captain Kirk.
It could happen. I mean, if John Lancey's a regular part of the show now, and I don't know, William Shatner, it's kind of up to him, really. I think the show staff would want to do that.
Please,
please. If you're hearing
spend
this,
all of your money. I don't care if the rest of the season is sad. Just make that moment happen.
Please make it happen so you can make Star Trek fans happy.
Yes. Trekkies and the Bronies will unite.
So it's kind of interesting. I was gonna say, and like to wrap things up, I was saying, and so they live happily ever after. They learn the story of their parents and blah blah blah. But no, they don't live happily ever after. They're dead.
Yeah, and like they don't they don't live happily ever after because it ends with like, "I'm disowning you, bye," and he leaves, and that's how that ends for him.
Yeah, that storyline was a tragedy, just like Romeo and Juliet.
Wait, hold on. I think I know why. She died. I think it was because she died of a broken heart.
Maybe.
Okay, Star Wars.
Car crash.
Get out of here, Padme.
I kind of hope the show teases us with little bits of information, let us speculate. That'll be fun.
It better not be she lost the will to live. That's stupid.
She lost the will to live.
I don't think that like implies suicide, doesn't it? I don't think they would do that in the show. Then again, Trixie.
Oh, don't even.
I know, there's a lot of debate over that. Anyway,
glares at Trixie plushie.
We do get this wonderful scene at the very end with the trees wrapped around, making a heart, and that's a really nice, glowy, colorful shot there. And there's still pears there. That's interesting. If they have such a feud, why would they leave the pears?
I have no idea, but I felt like the pears really connected.
Here's a wonderful little detail. All those vines growing up. This part of the farm isn't maintained. They haven't seen this before.
Ooh.
That's a great little detail. Look how overgrown it is.
That's a wonderful
where in the farm property could that be? Where like they would never go there because it's a farm. You usually
it's probably between their farm and the other farm, which they don't go to.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Like someone.
It is interesting.
It's just look look at the overgrowth. I didn't notice that.
It's so overgrown, man. That's so weird. I can totally see the picture we're talking about right now.
Huh.
Oh my gosh.
Because when I first saw this and the second viewing we just had, I was thinking, oh, how could they have this be in their farm and they never saw it? But no, that proves that they haven't been here before. Wow. Just like I was mentioning with the Mayor Maine, there's a lot of little details you got to watch again.
The spirit of the parents live on this tree, so the tree keeps their spirit alive.
Yeah, it could be something like that, like the elements of harmony.
Mind-blowing! Yeah!
We know trees are special in Equestria for some reason.
The family tree!
Anyway, I think that... anything else to mention before we jump into individual reviews?
If I shown this to a friend who is not a brony, I would show this episode.
Really? Well, no, it's the opposite.
No,
you need to have these 7 years of build-up.
Of appreciation for what the storyline has been so far.
Yeah, 7 years of
So
build-up.
it would not be. It'd be the
this
worst
would be a
one to
terrible
show.
introduction, really.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, Drummer Shot, you want to start us off?
Oh yeah, I watched it the 4th time. I loved it. I told Michelle I cried like 3 times in a row, and I watched it the 4th time and I cried again. This has every single crying element that made me cry. If I watched it again, I would cry again. Oh my gosh, this is a very emotional episode. I really loved it. I want to extend my rating, but since this episode
You only go up to 10.
Really touched my heart in a lot of ways. It really did touch my
Before
heart.
400 out of 10.
I'm gonna give this. Can I please give it an 11 out of 10, please?
Okay,
No.
but for the math, we'll have to call it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Fine.
you can say whatever you want out of 10, but at
Fine.
most it'll be 10.
I loved it.
But if it's
I
over 10,
really,
still 10.
really loved it. Please watch it again. 10 out of 10. Would rate it again.
All right.
All right.
I'm next, but I'll wrap things up. So we're
Think you
going to jump
liked
to Sonic Crew.
This was one of the best episodes so far in this season. I really enjoyed. I know it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation with Applejack's parents, and I like how the love story is. It was like I honestly almost felt a bit teary too because it was really good. But I don't know, people are still gonna be asking all these questions, but they're all basically pointing out the same one where what happened to Applejack's parents? That's probably the still question that everybody's gonna keep asking, but
Yeah, it's hilarious. They're dead.
Dead parents,
there's
am I
your
right?
answer, folks. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this episode. So 10 out of 10.
Oh boy, it's going to be a bunch of 10s, I have a feeling.
Are you sure, though?
No, I'm not sure, actually. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be all 10s. You guys
So
are
we
going
should
to
have
hate me.
got
But anyway,
2 10. Yeah, I think you said this episode had problems.
anyway, start.
What? What? Are you
Start that
serious?
I'm here. Yeah. I think that they were really careful about what information they released, and that kind of keeps the part of the information that we still don't know yet.
Right as I started
And-
typing, Turtle just says,
Which is how it was all put together. I think they actually earned their 10 out of 10.
You're giving me another 10?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 3 10s in a row. By the way, Shady Games, welcome. You just popped up out of nowhere, didn't you?
yeah, sorry. I started typing, and then Turtle's just like, get in here. And
So
I'm like, oh,
we're right in the
okay.
middle of individual reviews and ratings, so you're just in time to give your thoughts on Perfect.
Yes.
Pair if you want.
What are your thoughts on the Captain Kirk episode?
Unfortunately, I've only seen episode 13.
All right, then get out.
Get out.
We're talking
Get
about
out.
the Perfect Pair. Wait, is that not
Yeah.
13?
Is it?
Wait, is it? Are you guys talking about 13?
I think so.
We're talking about
You know,
Perfect
the
Pair.
Applejack one. Parents
The
one.
Captain Kirk one.
Okay, so he considers that the Captain Kirk one then.
Yeah.
I would have to say a 10 out of 10 for me.
All right, there.
Wow.
All right, now get out.
that's all you're wanting
I mean, his
10 out of 10 by.
review is unbiased, so
Can I give my reason on it?
Yeah.
No, get out.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us what you think. The Perfect
Okay,
Pair. The one with
so-
Applejack's parents, right? You're not. That is 13.
So the reason I give it a 10 out of 10 was it was just so emotional, specifically at the ending, like the whole story with Applejack's parents, it was just mind the background noise. I've got somebody at the dishwasher right now. I apologize for that. Anyways, it had the perfect mix of emotions for me. Like at the very ending, it was actually near tears. Really, it was very emotional, and you know, that's really all I got to say about it. I had a few laughs out of it too, and the characters were great. Also, got to mention that Butterpear is adorable, adorable as can be.
Oh, she was great.
All right,
Also,
so you said 10 out of 10, right?
10 out of 10.
All
Cool,
right.
so there goes your theory.
That's
So-
what, 4 10s in a row? Who's next, Turtle, or we got Star Shadow?
I think Star Shadow's next.
What I already gave
Yeah,
my
I
review.
think,
Okay.
I think so.
Did you? Oh yeah, you did.
Or maybe I didn't
So,
write
I-
down Shady's. Hold on.
Write it down. What was it?
10.
10 out of 10.
10. Okay.
All right, so yeah, I think it's your turn, Turtle.
Yay! So again, I have mixed feelings because as much as I really did like the episode and all the subtext that it involves, and that it ended on a bitter note. I always like that shows can end on a bitter note because I don't like when shows are afraid to be like, oh, and then they live happily ever after. This one was not happily ever after. This was, and then her dad left and never talked to her again, and then they died. I like that note.
Well,
I like when stories are as bitter.
They
as me.
had at least a couple babies there somewhere, right?
Yeah. But it's and then they died and he never talked to his daughter again and never made peace with her, blah 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 blah. But I like that they were bold enough to do that. However, this is Romeo and Juliet, and as much as I like the original Romeo and Juliet, I don't like when other writers just kind of take the structure of Romeo and Juliet and just kind of bend it to their structure because it's never really adapted properly, I don't think. This was done pretty well, but I did not like that they just took another story's structure. But again, it's kid show, so I can forgive that. Next, I'm going to say I'm not crazy about the Southern Charm kind of side that they went for, just because I'm not crazy about Southern Charm. It doesn't do much for me.
Racist.
Yeah, racist. I'm in the South. I hate. I think that's probably why I don't like Southern Charm, because it doesn't affect me. But it does affect me. Like people try to pass it off. But overall, there were a lot of really good character interaction moments, which again the show is really good for. It's a slice of life where they were just going around asking, "Hey, where's the story? Please tell us more about this." I think it was kind of pointless that they were like, "Oh, well, you know who'd be great at telling this story? Someone that's not me." I felt like they probably didn't really need to do that, but it got some different perspectives in there, I guess, and it got them to walk around to new locations. But aside from that, I think I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because all those minor nitpicks. Yes, I'm ruining it. All of those minor nitpicks add up to taking off 2 points.
Would you? So you think it's more about a bunch of nitpicks and not? It's not just because it's an overused trope.
No, it's a bunch of nitpicks mainly. I don't really mind the overused trope because I can forgive that in the show.
I think the entire fandom hates you for giving this an 8 out
Yes.
of 10.
How dare I?
Turtle, you ruined everything. I can't
You're
do
welcome. Sue me. Sue me. Not you,
Come on,
Hasbro.
we could
Not
have
you.
gotten another one of those 10 out of 10 in a row.
No, I'm
Nope.
ruining it.
Well, I was
Take
going to ruin it
that.
anyway because.
Yay!
So much like Turtle Pain said, there, I'm also conflicted because on one hand, the show has always used classic and well-known stories to ponify and do that sort of thing. So Romeo and Juliet, it was just a matter of time before they approached that. But at the same time, it's not a very original story. It's extremely predictable, and we all know how it is going to end anyway. So they had to throw in a lot of other little moments there, and a lot of good, subtle moments that prove the show still cares, and they still got it. In this point in time, it's season 7. I think we're about halfway through. A lot of complaints about the show getting stale and jumping the shark and just following a different formula. But this episode turns all that around and proves they still not only got it, but they still care. And the show has many more years left in it. It kind of gives you hope for the show. And that's kind of a broader idea of it. The episode itself was still also very enjoyable. I'm not a fan of the romance stories. I don't know if I'm just a heartless weirdo, but not into shipping, not into Romeo and Juliet type stories. So
This is why Little Shy will never get a girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm very conflicted because it's such a massive episode. We got William Shatner, we got Applejack's parents, we got a bunch of new characters and story and so much going on here. Great art direction, great storyboarding, great writing, great everything. So I'm just going to knock off 1 point because I'm not a fan of the Romeo-Juliet romance sort of thing. So I'm going to be giving this one a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
That's not bad.
All right, you ready for our
Respectable.
average?
No, whatever is.
All right, there's our drum roll from Drummer Shy. Okay, the average of the Little Shy live stream reviews for The Perfect Pair is a 9.5.
9.5.
And for those of you that want it to be 10, it's actually 9.57, so you can round up to 10 if you want. All right, thank you for joining us, everyone. That will conclude today's review. Be sure to stop in next time whenever the hiatus ends, or I guess you could say it already ended in a day.
After
But
BronyCon.
yeah, so hope to see you next time for future episodes. Thanks for stopping by, and goodbye.
And enjoy it being
Bye.
live, except it's not. Bye, Internet.